everyone to this episode of Times of Refreshing Encouragement for Pastors' Wives and for every other person watching our broadcast out there. Once again, I want to say thank you for following our broadcast and sharing with your friends. Last week on Times of Refreshing, we talked about setting goals and measuring achievement as a strategy towards achieving our New Year resolution. We said goals are the object of your ambition, and we looked at various ways to set goals and to be able to achieve it at the end of the day. We talked about setting realistic goals. We talked about taking your goals to God so that God can back you up. We talked about setting times so that you can be able to measure what you have achieved at any given time. We talked about having accountability partners who would help you to measure your goals, to look at what you're doing, to pick you up when you're down. We also talked about working towards achieving your goals. That is, don't be at ease. Don't just sit back and think about this resolution, these goals. Do something about it. Work hard so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve it. I truly want to believe that you're doing something about what we talked about last week, because one of the things we would really like to see you achieve this year is your resolution, so that you can be better at what you need to do and so that you can move on to something else. Today on Times of Refreshing, we want to continue on some of the things we need to know about when setting goals.
Make sure to like our Facebook page at Times of Refreshing with Pastor Toyin, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Times of Refreshing with Pastor Toyin, and you will be truly blessed.
First one I want to talk about today is that we must always put our goals in writing. You know, the brain has a capacity to store a lot of things, information. But when we put things down in writing, we actually complement what the brain is doing. We help the brain to remember. Because every time you look at what you put down, it makes you remember exactly what you want to achieve. Some people have even gone ahead to have mission statement concerning what they want to achieve this year. You can put a mission statement together that is telling you about what you want to achieve, and then put it in strategic places in your homes and your offices. Even put them in your cars. They serve as reminders, so that every time you pass those areas, maybe your refrigerator at home, or you pass your body at work, or you enter your car, you would always remember that this is what I want to do. And there's a way that picks us up to run towards our goal. Another thing we must learn to do when we talk about putting our goals down in writing, learn to have a to-do list. You know, for those who do not enjoy writing again, almost all our electronic devices have places where we can put reminders or to-do lists, and you can set alarms so that this can remind you periodically, because we have to be serious about our goals to be able to achieve them. We also must remember that there's so much help out there online for us, so that they can help us to achieve our goal. The other day, I was online looking at some things, and I stumbled upon a site called I Done This. I Done This is a site where you can actually have your own to-do lists, and then you can set up reminders, and you'll get emails to remind you of where you are on your goals and where the next step you're supposed to be taking if you have not already taken it. These are resources that can actually help us to monitor what we're doing, because without an action plan, our goals will not become reality. And that brings me to my next point, that is, have an action plan as to how to achieve these goals. See, we go from writing down our goals to having a to-do list and having an action plan. An action plan is what we need to have in place so that we plan out completely how we want to be able to achieve our goals this year. For instance, if you want to cut down your debts, one of the things you can do is that you can have it planned out that, okay, I'm going to cut down some of the costs I pay on my cable or my phone. I'm going to cut off some of my credit cards and, pay off some so that I can have some things to, to some balance that would not be as high as it was before. Because come to think of it, so many of the channels we have on our cables or whatever kind of TV system you have, so many channels we have, we do not watch them. So that means we don't need them. If you don't need them, then let it go. Call your carrier, tell them that you don't need these channels, they take it off, and you'll be able to cut down some money. Same thing with your phone. There are so many services on our phones that some of us have never opened them to see what they do. Those things, if you don't need them and you're paying for them, it's time to let them go. These are the kind of plans you have to have in place so that you'll be able to move from point A to point B. I also want to encourage you that from time to time you must stop and measure what you have achieved. If you keep on going and going and it looks as if you're on the same point, it looks as if you've not achieved anything, there's every tendency that you get discouraged. So from time to time, set time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, 2 months, check what you have achieved. If you have done well, reward yourself a little bit and move on. If you know you've made some mistakes, you can easily go back to the drawing board and redo it again. Find better ways to tackle whatever it is that is slowing you down and then get back to it. Rewards are not bad, except that don't rest on your houses when you get to rewards. Reward yourself a little bit and move on to do greater things. We must measure achievement all the time, because if you have not met your targeted time, you can see what you've done wrong and begin to plan towards the next targeted time, and you'll be able to get it. The last thing I want to leave you with today is to be focused on your resolution. Stay focused on your resolution. As we work towards achieving our resolutions this year, there will be distractions. There might even be discouragement, even challenges. Just know that these are not to stop you. What you need to do is to look at what went wrong, find a way of fixing it, and move on towards achieving your goals. I hope you've learned one thing or the other today, and I'm hoping that you put some of this into practice, because I want to see you achieve your goals this year, as I also want to achieve my goals. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, when we will be bringing a very, very wonderful speaker to talk to us on time management. Have a wonderful day.